Trump signs the executive order rescheduling marijuana to Schedule 3. It shifts marijuana from Schedule 1, grouped like drugs like heroin, having no accepted medical use. Holy shit.
At the same time, the facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical. Recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered. And some.
Oh my God. Bro. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, there we go. All right. I didn't even know this. This is great. So apparently, yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't know it because it literally just happened.
In some cases, this may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers.
Wow.
They cause tremendous problems. This can do it in a much lesser way, can make people feel much better that are living through tremendous pain and problems. 40 states and multiple U.S. territories have already recognized the use of medical marijuana.
Oh my
This
God.
reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments. It's going to have a
They should have brought Snoop Dogg for this.
tremendously positive impact, I believe. We're also asking Congress to reconsider its classification of hemp-derived CBD.
Oh my God. Damn, bro, this is nuts.
To ensure seniors can access CBD products they have found beneficial for pain.
My dad used
and
it,
other
yeah.
reasons. Some people are literally dying and dying with tremendous pain, and this can, in many cases, literally stop it. And
Yeah. Yeah, look at the dude's hand behind Trump. Yeah, this guy with all the tattoos. He's just there in the White House now. Yeah, there you go. And, wow.
they have their senses about them, as opposed to painkillers, which don't allow that, don't allow them to die with dignity.
This is
frankly.
awesome.
I promise to be the president of common sense, and that is.
I remember. My dad, whenever he was on, like, you know, like, I forgot which situation this was, but I remember he was walking around, he was getting around great, everything was fine, and I found out the reason why is that he was on, like, fucking, like, 2 different kinds of painkillers. He was, like, fucking high as shit, and he had taken shrooms. And I remember him walking, and he was just walking on the wall, like, halfway like this. He's like, no, it's okay, I can walk you out, it'll be fine. And then he's talking to me, and then he just starts fucking falling over. And I drop him. He's like, what's wrong? Why are you stopping me for? And I'm like, because you're falling on the ground. He's like, oh, no, I'm fine. No, it's okay. It's okay, it's fine. This happens all the time.
Is exactly what we're doing. This is really something having to do with common sense. And it's something.
And you know what? The moral of the story is that he was in a good mood. He was in a good mood.
Having to do with the fact that so many people that I respect ask me to do. People that are having problems, big problems. They are having big problems with illness, with cancer in particular.
Oh, yeah.
I now want to ask Dr. Oz to say a few words, followed by Dr. Braun, Dr. Kasserine.
This is awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know this was going to happen. I mean, I mean, this should have happened a long time ago, honestly. I feel like this is maybe one of the instances where it's like break in case of low ratings and like low poll numbers, which is like, I think this is good, by the way. This is a good thing. And this is the reason why people should hold his feet to the fire with this shit, right? Because we will continue to get better things if we don't accept mediocre outcomes. That's it. Thank God it happened. No, I think you're right, is that he's probably doing this because there's been a huge lack of sentiment that's positive towards Trump recently. And I think that's very well deserved in a lot of cases. And the fact is that, like, yes, how do I want a lawmaker to improve sentiment with the public. Well, maybe by doing things the public should want. A lot of Americans are retard thinks Venezuela stands a chance against the U.S. Venezuela stands a chance against the U.S.? Oh my God. Can we get OTC marijuana everywhere now? I don't know yet. And Tylenol with codeine. Ooh, I get that whenever they pull my teeth out. And so misinformation, disinformation about what President Trump is scheduling does not mean legalizing. Yeah, obviously it's not. Yeah, making it not as bad. That's very clearly what it is. So, man. Honored
to do this.
Man. There we go.
That's a good one. We rate that.
That's a good one. It sure is. Don't accept mediocre outcomes. Don't accept mediocrity. Don't accept bullshit. Don't accept, oh, well, we can't really do this or anything else. Because if you don't accept that shit, things will continue to improve and get better. I think this is great. And I think also people should expect to see more improvements and things get better. And so that's it. And could reduce fentanyl use. Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right. Is that let's see if there's more of it.
Announced that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people.
Yeah, we've seen this one before too. But yeah, wow. And
they could reschedule marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Now, that would mean that it would no longer be in the same category with drugs like heroin, LSD.
I mean, heroin and LSD are like way higher scale than marijuana. Like if you have heroin and marijuana in the same schedule, in the same category, you're being a fucking retard. You're being a retard. Everybody knows these are two massively different things.
Those types of things, it would graduate to the same group as Tylenol with codeine and steroids. Now,
that's nothing, man.
Classifying does not mean that recreational marijuana use is going to be legal everywhere, but it does mean that the medical uses of cannabis would be recognized and would make researching it a whole lot easier.
Absolutely.
It could also be a very big win for the cannabis industry. Joining us now is someone who knows that industry very well, founder and CEO of Flow Hub, Kyle Sherman. Kyle, great to see you. So walk us through what reclassifying marijuana like this could actually mean for the cannabis industry.
Schedule 1? Yeah, now
really
you're going to have to rename the game to Schedule 3.
We've been waiting for 55 years, to see some federal movement on cannabis. It's pretty crazy. It's happening here, potentially here in 2025.
My dad would be very happy to see this. This is crazy.
And really what this means for cannabis businesses, retailers, growers, manufacturers of infused products, edibles, this means they're not going to have to pay a tax called 280E. And 280E is a crazy tax that was really put in place for federal drug traffickers in the early 80s. And it said, hey, if you're going to try to write off, business expenses for a federally illegal business that you're running, well, then you can't do that. And so the issue here is you've got all these great American businesses, over 40,000 of them across the United States, employing over 500,000 Americans, who basically are penalized using that tax code. And so they're paying upwards of an...
This is something that's been going on for a while. And I think that recently, this is something, obviously, I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I have no intention of ever doing it. Doesn't matter if it was legal or not. I don't drink alcohol. And so, to me, I don't give a shit. But at the same time, I think this is obviously a great thing. It is. It's a great thing. Very happy to see this.
Who basically are penalized using that tax.
I'm sorry, I had to step back because I forgot my train of thought. But what I was going to say is that a lot of people have complained that a lot of the dispensaries that sell medical marijuana are selling at a very, very high rate, which is causing people to buy it off of the black market or off of like basically a gray market, the same as they had been for like, decades before then. And I think that there's like a secondary problem with that is that if you're doing that and you're buying something that's from like a secondary source that's not a, like a verified dealer, that stuff, it could have other bad stuff in it, basically. So like if you have something that's technically legal, but the regulations around it make it unfeasible to buy and sell legally, then, you're still going to have the black market. And you're still going to have people that have that happen. Like fentanyl, yeah, like it's laced with something else. So you see how this also attacks a problem that it basically causes another problem.
Code, and so
it's
they're
like
paying
a domino
upwards
effect.
of an 80% effective tax
You
rate.
see what I'm saying?
And what that means is like a big alcohol company,
That's nuts.
right, Gotti, could go right off a Super Bowl commercial.
Jesus.
And a cannabis dispensary can't even write off toilet paper. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And we talk about it here in California, but we've seen a lot of the regulation and a lot of the restrictions leading to like this black market for marijuana where it's legal. It's just for some, they find it a lot cheaper to buy the stuff that's not.
So true.
Not necessarily licensed, doesn't really fit into the regulations, and is grown in places that the state of California would not like to see it grown. Do you see any of what could happen with this reclassification changing that at all?
Yeah, well, look, I think this is the first step in a long time, like I mentioned.
No surprise there.
That we're going to see some changes federally and some recognition that this is a real medicinal product. State law is separate from federal law, right? These are truly laboratories of democracy in every single state. Every state's actually uniquely different in how they regulate cannabis. This is a very highly regulated product. In some cases,
I think the entire panic around smoking weed is so fucking retarded that growing up, even I thought it was ridiculous. Like I remember whenever weed was illegal and like there would be people talking about it in school saying like why it should be illegal. And like they're bringing up like the Bible and other stupid fucking reasons like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about the Bible? Like it's a fucking plant. If God made everything on the earth, he made this plant too. Like, what do you mean? How can you smoke the plant of tobacco, but you can't smoke the plant of fucking hemp? Like it doesn't make any sense. And so anyway, I've always thought this was so ridiculous. It's so dumb. And I would even go as far to say that it seems to me, okay, I'm not a fucking expert on this, right? But I have seen way more people ruin their lives over alcohol than I have over weed. And by the way, it's like at a 10-to-1 ratio. Actually, I don't know anybody that's really ever ruined their life explicitly over weed, period.
Probably over-regulated.
So, yeah.
I mean, I often say we actually regulate cannabis, I think, better than we regulate uranium in the United States. Every plant is tagged.
It's ridiculous.
In the grow.
It's such a ridiculous... Like, why is there so much oversight over people smoking cannabis? It's ridiculous.
Essentially, as it moves through the supply chain, you get these batch tags.
Yeah.
When leaves fall off the plant in a grow, they're literally sent into the state, the weight of those leaves, all the way through the point of sale when it's...
Think about how ridiculous that is. That's like Karen bureaucracy garbage. Of course this is dumb.
Sold into retail. So this is an incredibly transparent industry today. And look, at the end of the day, dispensaries, regulated dispensaries check IDs, and we know the illicit market does not. The more that the federal government recognizes how big this industry is, this regulated industry is across all of these U.S. states, look, the better off we are at shutting down the black market. That illicit market exists because there's demand for the product, so we shouldn't overtax it.
He's right.
I'm so glad
he's completely right.
Brought up the IDs.
It's so obvious.
And the black market not checking IDs. I mean, critics of reclassifying marijuana, like they will always say, like, this downplays health risks. It leads to increased use, and then the youth are going to smoke more marijuana.
All of this could be applied to alcohol. So unless you want to regulate alcohol as a Schedule III drug, then I don't want to hear at all about why weed is a unique problem.
How do you respond to that?
It's ridiculous.
I think you got to look back to alcohol prohibition, right? If we're trying.
So true. So true. Like, you know what? Like, it's, yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Trying to prohibit cannabis in the United States. I mean, there's huge demand for it. I think Al Capone would be all about prohibition, right? I mean,
of course.
This creates a criminal market. And by regulating the industry, this brings into a much safer position for Americans, right?
One of the things that a lot of like people don't understand is the way that large companies and pseudo monopolies advocate for regulation in order to create a barrier to entry for a market in order for them to effectively have a de facto monopoly on the market. They basically use regulations to pull the ladder up against other competitors so they can't compete because they don't have the large enough scale in order to offset the regulatory costs into their actual, their business. That's what they do.
You don't want kids shopping for cannabis in the streets.
Yeah, it's fucking obviously.
At all. Like, that's crazy. Drug dealers don't check IDs. And so I always tell critics, look, the regulated market's really important for the future of America. There's demand for this product. That during the height of the war on drugs, it did not stop people from consuming.
No.
Let's make sure we keep it away from kids and we keep it available for adults. Look, Schedule 3, lastly here.
Exactly.
Gotti, Schedule 3 doesn't mean a zillion dispensaries are going to open up overnight at all. In fact, it doesn't really do a whole lot other than say, hey, look, we're going to end this punitive tax code, and hey, we're going to open up research. And that's also really great for Americans. Really, this is not a pro-cannabis thing. This is not an anti-cannabis thing. This is a pro-reality thing here with Schedule 3.
Yeah, of course.
Founder of Flow Hub, Kyle Sherman, really appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Kyle's right.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, he right about all this. I follow that guy. He knows what he's talking about. And so, isn't marijuana illegal in some states, though? I'm always confused how the U.S. works. Okay, yeah, it's stupid, right? It's confusing. But, like, that weed is illegal in, It's illegal federally, but there's states that allow it. So unless the federal police come in and go after you for it, then in general, nothing's going to happen. So it's basically like, why would they give a shit about this? Why would they care? And that's pretty much it. You definitely smoke Russian. I don't smoke anything. I don't like the idea of smoking. I find the concept and the process of smoking to be very disgusting, to be honest with you. I think it's disgusting. I don't have any interest in doing it. I think just the act of doing it is gross. And, again, like, I don't judge other people for doing it. I don't think there's a problem with doing it, but I have no interest in doing it myself. Will this affect anyone in jail? I mean, in my opinion, I don't think anybody should be in jail for any violent marijuana crime. It's like, unless you're selling it to like kids or something like that, I think that all of those people should be immediately let out of jail and replaced with your local shoplifters and problem causers at, CVS. So yeah, what about edibles and THC patches? This is a principle that I have. And in general, I don't like putting things in my body that don't need to be there. Period. So like I drink like soda a lot. But in general, like, I don't like taking any medicine. Like, I don't want to fuck up the homeostasis of my body any more than I already have. So, yeah, and really, does that include soda? Well, no, but you could say it like this. You could think about it like this. Like, I'm already drinking soda a lot. So I'm kind of capped out on my unhealthy habits. So I feel like you have to pick your poison and not pick a dozen different poisons. So I'm already drinking a lot of soda. So let's isolate the amount of problems that I have to just like 1 or 2 rather than like 10. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Sound like the Crystal Girl saying that? Maybe I do, but that's the way I think about things. So anyway, yeah, cope harder. Well, I'm just saying that I think that in general, and also, like, I would be healthier if I didn't drink soda. I don't think soda is not good for you. Like, am I saying that? Of course I'm not saying that. So very clearly, I choose to do that because I enjoy doing that, but I can live without these other things. And it's like, why would I start doing a drug or engaging in a behavior that maybe I could get addicted to, or I would really like, that could be detrimental for me in the long run? Like, I'm fine with the way that I am now. So why would I intentionally make things worse for myself by doing that? Do you see kind of what I'm saying here? Yeah, you're superhuman. I don't think so. I mean, like, again, I have been incredibly lucky that I have had basically no health problems. I have had, you know, knock on wood, right? No health problems, no other type of like issues at all. And, you know, I'm 35 and I pretty much live the same way that I always have. I mean, like zero sugar is poison. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, good genes, I guess, right? I mean, and pretty much everybody in my family it either died from being an alcoholic or somehow got killed or something like that, or they lived pretty long time, right? And even my dad, I mean, he was 78, and you know, this was after like he had half of his lung taken out, and there was like 4 or 5 other things that had happened. Like, yeah, that's it. So I try not to, you know, I try not to tempt fate too much, but I also consider myself quite lucky. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. You're right, but being skinny doesn't mean you're healthy, but being fat means you're unhealthy. So it's a little bit different there. But yeah, a huge W for Trump. Like, this is undeniable. This is great. I'm very happy about this. I don't see how anybody would complain about this or get mad. Let's see.
We are considering that.
Goodbye.
Is it accurate that you are considering an executive order to reclassify marijuana under the control?
We are considering that.
That's right.
I want all A's.
Okay.
No drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes.
Don't take drugs, okay? Raise your hand. When people ask, what do I tell? I said to my kids, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. Raise your hands, kids. I promise Donald J. Trump that I will never take drugs.
Based.
All right, kids, come here.
They promised you? Now keep your promise to them. Don't schedule marijuana. Who's this retard? Who's this retard? Luke? Luke's a retard. Oh! You're quoting the Bible. I see. Okay, it's one of these situations. Yeah, it's the Bible. Emotional blackmail? Yeah, right. What a stupid thing to say, by the way. Like, you know, we give people fentanyl in hospitals, right? Like, I think they give women fentanyl for childbirth in some cases. Am I accurate about that? I think that's one of the uses of it. Like, it's just such a stupid fucking argument. It's unbelievable, but Lord of the Rings, I know, it makes me so mad. This guy has Lord of the Rings in his bio. What a dumb fucking thing to say. Like, as if, what's so ridiculous is that, oh yeah, you're gonna decriminalize this for adults, and then you're trying to play it off like it has something to do with him wanting, what is it? Do you think Trump wants kids to smoke weed? What are we talking about?
I want to emphasize that the order I am about to sign is not the legalization, or it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it. Just as the prescription painkillers may have legitimate uses, but can also do irreversible damage and never.
Of course.
You know, if you look at some of the damage that can be caused, wreck lives, and if it's abused, it's never safe to use powerful controlled substances in recreational manners. And especially in this case, if you take a look, illegal and unregulated drugs, very, very bad thing. So I've always told my children, don't take drugs, no drinking, no smoking.
There you go.
And just stay away from drugs. I have been, they would look at me and they
adults
said,
will smoke next to children?
Saying that. I would say it every
my
time
mom
I
did.
looked at it practically. Young Americans are especially at risk, so unless a drug is recommended by a doctor for medical reasons, just don't do it. At the same time, the facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be
You gotta live in reality, thank God.
Legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered in some cases. This may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers.
Yeah, it's like, why would you want somebody to go on a painkiller that's addictive in the same way that they could just go on weed and it's not as addictive? Like, anything can be psychologically addictive. Like, people can get addicted to, like, going to McDonald's, right? But I don't think it's really fair to say that the chemical addiction that certain opioids create is the same as addiction to marijuana.
They cause tremendous problems.
It's like, it's a deliberate misrepresentation.
Lesser way can make people
Vaping's
feel
gay.
much better.
True.
Living through tremendous pain and problems.
True. Yes, opiates are severe. Yeah, of course, right? And this is a great thing. I'm very happy about this.